Hey Slim,
It hit.
this joint like that, Mo.
Said it
Hey,
hit
son,
different.
I'm telling you, yo.
Look, I don't even drink
Oh.
this, but when I do,
But look though, this is the royal ginger root, and I can taste the ginger root in there. Like I've been really trying to get more into ginger and stuff.
This is up. All right, man.
But that is unique. It's unique.
So we at NuVegan.
Okay.
Another episode in the can. This is a special one here, man, because we with a guy, man, that I have known for years, man, forever.
Yeah.
He goes by the name of Beau Young Prince. I got a fun fact for you too, man. So I knew I was doing this interview today, and I went and I looked up. I said, let me see when me and Beau became Facebook friends.
Oh shit.
March 2008.
Damn, that's like when I just activated
Yeah,
Facebook.
facts.
I was in like the library in high school, and I was like, Facebook. No, you remember it was invite. Only
It was
for
in
like an older or upperclassman because it wasn't really for younger
Yep.
kids at the time. I got my invite. I don't know, private school shit.
Yeah, man.
That's funny. Wow. Oh wait.
So it's about 13 years, and we had probably known each other before that. But that was just that,
Doing
man.
sports
So
and stuff.
you know what I'm saying, man? This is a
Crazy.
special one for me, man, because this is the first guy that I ever knew out the DMV who was rapping, right? Because, you know, for folks who may be watching this not from the DMV, when we was growing up, people wasn't rapping.
No.
It was all go-go.
Because you're talking 08. Like it
08.
It all coincides because I recorded my first song in 08. Like
Yeah.
literally. So
I remember when you first started rapping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, so I'll tell y'all. So here's the way that I was introduced to Beau, right? So we both went to private schools growing up in the area. And shout out to IAC.
Yep.
I went to St. Stephen's. He was at St. Albans.
St. Albans.
Right? Okay. So at these schools, you can imagine there's only probably about 5 to 10 black people, maybe that. At 15 at best. Which means
know
you
them
cut
all.
Facts. You cut that in half, so that means it's only about 7 or 8 girls. All right. So this young man right here was dating one of the only few black women that we had at our school. So off break, we all hated Beau coming up.
Literally. I used to be so friendly though. I did not understand why. I was
all-
like, I got it. It's like when you go to the hood and you get the one girl
That-
from the hood. Then it's like when you come through, everybody's gonna hate you.
That's it.
But
you
was
know,
all love.
you
It
know what
panned
I'm
out.
saying? That was it, right? So we all knew Beau was the rapper that, you know, the girl. Shout out to Tay too. You know what I'm saying?
Doing things,
That, you know, she was you know, she'd bring Beau around, and we was just like, this guy, he took one of the 5 black girls at our school. So,
One of the 5.
You know what I'm saying?
Good little prep talk.
Yeah.
Private school shit, but it is true that it's typically 5 to 10 black students in your grade. So there are slim pickings.
Yes.
And so you know. You had to find them and get in where you fit in back in them days.
Yeah,
so
man.
That's a funny story about how we know each other,
Yeah,
man. Before
nah.
the rap, before SoundCloud,
Absolutely.
pretty much before all of these things that we have that we kind of work and do now, you know. So to see that, like, you know, maneuvering in just like the media world and everything he's doing with AMP, that's crazy. So let me give you your flowers, bro.
Oh, man, I
It's fire.
appreciate that. And likewise, too, man. I remember maybe about 3 or 4 years ago when Molly reconnected us, and you came and you showed love, came through the DC Soul stage, and you told me then, you were like, yo, you know, I'm about to sign with Def Jam. It's like, word.
Right,
and then maybe
right.
it was before you did it. Maybe about 3 or 4 months later, you were signed,
lo and
man.
behold.
So, yeah, and I love what you've done for carving out a lane that's unique to you, and you never switched up, man.
Thank you.
So I got to go ahead and get those flowers right back to you, bro. I'm so proud of you, man.
See, man, that's what it's about.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I appreciate it because, you know, coming from our area,
Yup.
it's very tough to even break into the industry. We both know whether you're doing it from a radio perspective, a media, multimedia perspective, or like I am as an artist, we really started from go-go.
Yeah.
So our infrastructure was really rooted into the live performance of these go-go bands. Like, I've been in several failed go-go bands before I was a rapper.
What was you in?
Bro, AAB, Above Average Band, which is something we made out of my private school in St. Albans, which is even crazier. Like, I would never, ever play that shit. But point being, we all did go-go, but rap was non-existent. So I can say that it's really crazy to sign a major label deal and become, you know, one of the few people out of this city to do that, because
Absolutely.
we
So-
learn the ropes ourselves.
Yeah, man. So let me even ask you, just because for me, I don't think you ever told me the answer. Like, knowing that go-go was the thing back then, like, what made you even want to be like, you know what? I'm gonna get into hip hop and I'm gonna get into rap, because like I said, people weren't doing that back then. And I know it might be tough in 2021 for people to understand that, but literally, like when I tell you that like people were not rapping, Like, you know, like,
Nah, nobody.
like nobody
rapped.
was rapping. Like, that wasn't a
I don't think
thing.
people can understand. Like, they think I'm being cocky when I say that, but I mean it with the utmost respect. That in 2008, people told me it was impossible to be a rapper.
That was not.
My sisters, they didn't even believe me at first. I popped in the tape and they was like, "You rapping? You a rapper?" It's like, we knew what they were. But we didn't have them here. But I mean, Wale had Dig Dug, and then Chillin' with Lady Gaga. That was a big feature. And I'm in high school, like, bro, Wale has a feature with Lady Gaga. Like, bro, this is going off. Tabby Bonet in the Pocket was on MTV.
Yeah.
And I kind of think,
and he had Nike boots first, too.
Yeah, for sure.
With Wayne.
Yeah,
that was,
yeah, he did. He did. Wow. And it was on the remix to that shit. And there was those, I think, 3 records. I mean, single-handedly, that you could say on an artist level, what influenced me to do it was like seeing those artists, Tabby and Wale, Uptown XO, you know what I'm saying, like a Kingpin Slim around the time.
Wow.
And I knew about, like, again, the classic artists, like the Nonchalants. I'm a music aficionado. Like, I know the culture. Too. But my brother Wayne, RP, he took me to the studio. It was Georgia Ave Day. If you from here, you know. We used to have the most bomb Georgia Ave days, or like the Caribbean Fest. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. And basically, I forget which year. It had to be 07, 08. He pulled up and he had a demo. He picked us up from Georgia Ave. And he was like, "Yo, listen to my song." We was like, "Your song?"
Yeah.
I had a notebook full of raps and a composition pad full of raps. And then he finally took me to the studio. And then after that, I've never left. I still record with Carl. I brought a plaque back to that same studio years later. Like, so, you know, that's really the story of how I got into rapping from DC.
Man, you took me back with the Caribbean Fest, man. I remember that. Right? Oh my goodness, Georgia Avenue used to be crazy.
It was popping. Wow. See, you always gonna get history talking with BYP.
Nah, that's what's up, man. Those are legendary. It's sad that, you know, folks don't get to, you know, kind of experience that.
Now we got Mochella.
Yeah, we do.
And it's a little different, but Mochella, it always moves around. I think it's still a dope way of trying to get people together for the right reasons. Absolutely. And rally around a good cause in the city. Yep. You know, so, I mean, we're trying. Everything's changing, man.
Nah, it is. And it's crazy because it's like we're not even that old. Like, that's the thing. It's not like we like 30 or 40 sitting here like telling you like we were in like teenagers and like early 20s experiencing these things.
We just were at the beginning of the hip hop era in Washington, D.C. though. It's like when I hear people at Def Jam in the building talk about how they used to put up posters and how they was around at the early phases for like this LL Cool J shit, DMX shit and stuff like that. It's like, yo, we too will have those stories when we're much more successful than now, and hopefully we'll be able to look back and go, yo, remember? We were running around in DC circa 08 all the way up to like, 2021, the crazy pandemic, we did, remember, man, you just will be able to say a lot of things to our peers, because I do believe we all will be in very different places.
Yeah, man. I
in
like
a
that.
While. Like, I really do. I love stories like that.
Yeah,
like, we already kind of got one.
Yeah.
For
sure. So we're at NuVegan right now. You know what I'm saying? I know you chomping now. What are you eating, bro?
Yo. Say, first, this is my first time eating at NuVegan. I know. But I have some vegan mac and cheese. Okay. I have some vegan candy yams or sweet potatoes, and I have a vegan steak. And these are just some fries. And right here, we got this crazy royal ginger root fruit punch. Dope. This might be my favorite item I've tried here, but the candy yams are crazy, crazy solid. Yeah. And this mac and cheese is like to die for. The steak is weird. I'm not gonna lie. It's weird because I'm a steak man. I'm a pork and steak kind of guy. I ain't gonna hold you. But it's weird, that this is steak. Okay. But it's not steak. That's what's So,
One of the things, man, that AMP that we're really pushing kind of coming into this year is, artists really taking care of themselves past just performing. It's really about like, listen, we've seen the greatest of all time, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Prince. They got to the mountaintop, but we've seen what happens when you don't take care of yourself. Absolutely. So that's one of the things that we're pushing. So for you personally, one of the things I'm really curious as an artist, as somebody who is on the bubble, bursting through the bubble, how do you take care of yourself, man? What are some of the things you do to make sure that you still stay connected, grounded, and take care of yourself in this industry?
I first off want to say that's really great that we are kind of pivoting and that's something that you're choosing to focus on, because in music, I think mental health and music goes hand in hand. Mm-hmm. And me personally, I think the quarantine had changed my whole functionality. Yeah. And it changed how I even looked at free time, how I looked at self-care, and I've had to like kind of refine my process because I've had a lot of downtime, as we all have. Yep. And so you've been faced to sit and finally do those things that you challenge yourself to do. So for one, I do skincare.
Okay.
I like to take care of my skin.
I like that.
How you feel on the exterior is how you feel on the interior. So,
man.
I do think that, if you can do something as simple as have a routine of, applying your skincare in the morning and evening, it gives you a sense of regularity, a sense of purpose, those little things that I'm used to having, which is structure. Because I think the pandemic and the quarantine kind of took away a lot of structure. So I find myself sitting there making music all day, writing music all day, but, to no avail in the sense that, we're not performing.
Yeah.
We're not outside. So, I've had to, focus on how to not go mental. So, while music was my sanctuary, also you have to distance yourself from music too in these times. In a sense, let me clarify, like, how I'm taking in music, like what I'm taking in, how much of it. And I mean, like, going on the internet and keeping up with all the new music dropping, keeping up with all the different artists. It can give you anxiety to a degree. So I think your mental health is important. So you got to kind of treat the internet, food, and what you're feeding your mind. You have to really look at that. You know, that. And I try and do that with Instagram, Twitter, whatever, Like, I only have a certain limit of that type of energy and certain things I want to see across my feed at a given day and how many times I want to see it. So just managing your time, managing your self-care, whether it's that's, eating good, like, I could eat better.
Healthy, all that,
I think eating better fuels your body better. So I definitely am a believer of that also helping you. But, just taking care of the things that make you happy. Go for a walk. You got animals, play with the animals. I'm a video game player, so I like to play video games. I like to roll up. I do a couple things. Meditate.
Good. No, that's real, man. I think one of the things that we don't always think about, but it's real, is everything that you put inside of you is extremely important, even from what you're seeing, what you're smelling, what you're touching, what you're tasting. Everything that you put inside of you comes out and manifests itself in some sort of way.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that, they really kind of put us on us was the social media piece, and not really factoring in, like, what we're looking at and scrolling, like, that has an effect on you.
It's not healthy. Even the strongest of us can succumb to, like, things that we're seeing daily, or keeping up with the Joneses, as they say. Or even if you don't keep up with the Joneses, you're keeping up with something, And I think that, personally, I don't like to pit myself against people. I don't like to judge my clock and count another person's timer. So I think that those are the things we end up doing when we kind of lock into this world of, like, staying obsessed with social media and staying obsessed with keeping up with what everyone else is doing. I love all my friends. I love all their passion projects. But sometimes you might even see me be distant because I got to focus on what I'm doing. Absolutely. I got to focus on BYP. So, it's very, very, very important.
And one of those things, man, when you talk about that BYP focus that I have really enjoyed and watched with your career is, yes, you put out the music, yes, you have the videos, but one of the things that you did that was so impressive to me is right away you started focusing on that sync money.
Absolutely.
Those sync deals, television, video games, movies, getting your music placed in other mediums.
Yes.
Talk to me about, give me the origin. When did that hit that was a great idea and something to do? And then walk me through, like, how you properly have structured your business to give you those opportunities. And then I guess the third part, what it'll lead to, is talk about some of those opportunities.
Okay, cool. That's a good segue too. So I first got into really doing the syncs and the placement world. I didn't really know much about placements. But my first placement was in Broad City, the comedy show, and that was before the deal, actually. So I saw a little bit of sync money from that. I did, like, a no smoking commercial where I put music behind. You'll never know it's me.
You did a no smoking commercial.
I did a no smoking
They ain't do no background check on that shit.
They definitely didn't know who we were dealing with. I was like, yo. I was like, yo. I literally, it's the quickest, funniest bag I've ever gotten. It was like 15 seconds. It was like with Smokey the Bear or some shit. It was really tight.
That is hilarious.
Because your resume has to grow. And this is why I love sync placements. I still type up a rap resume.
Wow.
I have every venue I performed at, all the notable artists I've opened up for, every venue I've headlined at, notable places where I've sold the most merch, and just things like, streaming numbers and stuff like that, we'll get into, because it's important when you're pitching yourself to have these. But also I'm going for bigger collaborations. I want to work with bigger brands, you know what I'm saying? The Calvin Kleins. I want to work with, some of the bigger fashion brands. And so it's like, to do that, you have to have a diverse portfolio. So when I show you that I have a placement with TikTok and Apple, and I have a commercial with them, or I show you that I got a placement in, Spider-Man or Madden or Sims, what it's showing you is I'm diverse enough to do different projects, and that my music is diverse enough to function in many different formats. So how we structure the business that way, part of it is creation. I like to make songs that are syncable. Like there's BYP records, and then there's my bag where I got like a folder on my laptop that says sync shit. And that's party music, sports music, stuff that's moody. Most of the music is clean and no cursing, because you got to think, if it's going on TV, you don't really want it to be dirty when it's sent to like music supervisors. And so, you know, after seeing what Getting In, The Hate You Give, and then what Spider-Verse did for my career, I mean, I went double platinum off a sync feature. 290 million streams off a sync feature. Madden, you know what I'm saying? All my homies, I was on every single TV. All the rappers bigger than me, they might not know me, but they know me. You
All
know
American.
I'm like All American.
I remember that. I was watching it.
And even
and I
the
was
other
like,
market, like Basketball Wives. I've had songs on like Basketball Wives, and then another weird one. Then we just did Yesterday, a film with Jennifer Garner, which is hitting a whole nother demographic. Both of those came out. Coming to America.
Let's talk about that one though, because the Coming to America is crazy. I mean, that's
it's the biggest
in the black
one
community. That's what we talking about. That's the biggest
for the culture.
Come on,
that one, yo.
So what was the feeling when you found out that you was gonna be in Coming to America?
I called my mom and I'm like, yo, I'm in Coming to America. That was the first thing I did. Second was probably like jumped around in the crib on the couch. Third was just like I rolled up. Fourth was like, you know, and then I got on the horn with the team and shouted out everybody that kind of connected me to make it happen, because I had been selected for that soundtrack like over a year before they announced it.
Now, how did that happen? How did it come together?
I heard through the pipeline, because you know, I do work. I work with publishers. I work with sync agents. You know, I heard through the grapevine. I keep my ears open that there's a Coming to America coming out. So I inquired to someone like, how can I get on this soundtrack? And I got my hands on a prompt for like the scene where they were like, we want something regal, royal, you know, kings and queens, upbeat, family friendly. So I'm like, boom, I got this.
Gotcha.
You know, I wrote to the prompt. You know, I wrote something funky, something groovy, something upbeat. But that wasn't the song that they went with. They went with We Got the Moves, which was something I wrote secondary for the movie, but I also had wrote that kind of for Space Jam. So that's a little fun fact, which is why it's like funky, but it also has basketball references. So, you know, I was trying to, pro tip, you want to make a song that can go both ways or all which ways. I want that joint in one scene and another, which is why we have Yesterday and Coming to America come out the same week, same song, two different demographics, two completely different worlds, same song.
Man, so brilliant minds.
You know,
I love it, man.
Want to diversify the bag, baby.
Yeah. So as an artist, man, it's crazy. It's like you don't necessarily have to be the biggest artist or have the most followers on IG or you know 100 million streams a month, you know, like Drake in order to really be able to sustain yourself. You can build a business and a lifestyle around. So talk to me a little bit about that, like as an artist and for artists watching, like how can they sustain themselves and build a business without, you know, needing all of the things that people think you need to come with that?
Well, first off, you only need those things when you are at a certain level to accept those things and what they come with. So I'll leave that there. But rephrase the question for me, because I kind of got sidetracked.
Got you. So as an artist or as an up and coming artist, one person may feel like, man, I got assigned to a label and I have to have 10 people on my team around me and I have to be working with the hottest producers in order to really sustain myself, right, as an artist.
Yes.
And that's not true.
No, it's absolutely not true. In fact, there's so many independent artists who are making more money than people signed to labels because they touch all of their money. Fact number one, own your stuff. You know, and the only way you can do that is mainly staying independent for the most part until you get bargaining power later. So LLC, you know, you want to start an LLC. I'll even walk you through it. What I would do, you know, LLC, whatever that is going to be for your music. You want to copyright and trademark, you know, your music so that when it is spun, when it is in media base, when it is ever anywhere that counts, you're getting that credit and recognition and those spins are going back to you. Thirdly, I think that it's important to handle your marketing because the power is in your hand right now. In today's age where you have iPhones, TikTok, you know what I'm saying, like Instagram, all of these platforms that we did not have before to break and showcase ourselves, there's no excuse to not showcase your talent. You can set up your phone at home and do a freestyle. You can record from the studio. You can put up live content, and that is the content that actually blows up. So while everyone is thinking, oh, stream, we're in the digital revolution. So, content is king. Stay very consistent on content. And that doesn't have to be expensive content. I mean, go out with your friends, go out with your iPhone, go out with whatever you may, and, go ahead and shoot some content. Put that song in the background. Learn to be your best promoter. Because these labels and the bigger corporations, they come when it's hot, right? So they have to see that you built Rome already. So at the end of the day, you'll have to build it anyway. So you might as well save a few steps so that you just build it and own it, and you know how to keep making it work. So that's what I can't stress enough. Again, copyright, trademarking, LLC, those are the back end things. You know what I'm saying? So no one can play with your art. Absolutely. And if you ever go into a negotiation, you own the art. And then learn the business. Understand when you need a manager. Understand when you need a booking agent. I was my own manager and booking agent until I signed.
I remember.
And even when I signed, I was still serving as my own manager and booking agent, and they didn't really know. So, and even now that I have a manager, I still micromanage everything, and I operate indie, even though I'm with a major label. So I would say to artists, don't ever give up that attitude of doing it all yourself, or that frustration of, because it's always going to be you doing it yourself. Labels only move when you're moving and when you move correctly. So you're doing yourself a favor by doing everything yourself and getting the business in place.
You are the CEO of your own company as an artist, and every artist that I sit down and I talk with, that is the one thing that artists have to understand.
Well, they signed my LLC.
Yeah.
They signed Beau Young Prince.
There we go.
LLC.
You are the
so
CEO.
I pay myself through my LLC. I'm on my own payroll. You
Absolutely.
dig what I'm saying? So, and then for taxes and things like that, you'll see why. It's a whole nother talk on financial literacy and how you should structure the business and stuff, which artists do really need to know. But you do need, accounting. There's someone who has to account for the employees, whether that's your management, your booking agent, and people, that ride with you. They might be your driver, your man who's always going with you. Structure that into the business so everything is able to be written off. Everything is tax deductible. Then you get that money back that you're putting in. And then you start to even see some return on the money you're spending in this business. You should not just be going to the studio. You can even write off your gear and stuff if you are a performing artist. You just need to know how to do it and seek out the knowledge.
And that comes with educating yourself.
Absolutely.
That's so
it's all
important.
on Google, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is on Google.
There's no excuse.
I would say there's none. And if you're local, everybody know my DMs are always open.
Absolutely.
I respond to all industry questions, regardless of the magnitude of it. So,
Hit this man up. Let's talk a little bit about what you have coming out next, 2021. We're in a new year, still Q1. What are some of the goals that you set for yourself? What's coming out? What's up?
Well, 2021 is already off to a good start with the double platinum certification. So that was one of my goals, to go gold. But not only did we go gold, we went double platinum. So I'm ordering.
You have the plaques too.
Oh, I just ordered them.
Okay,
they're coming.
I love it.
So that's gonna be dope. Getting and Coming to America. I don't think, it's the #1 movie in America right now, and I just, again, for the culture, that's gonna be the biggest thing yet until something tops that, and that would be my album. But so you can expect a new BYP project.
Good.
I got records from Hit Boy, records from Beat Billionaire, records from The Usual Suspects. And I'm thinking of working with some interesting characters who I've reached out to already, and I'm hoping everything goes well with those features. But you can just expect more music, man. More content. When live shows come back into effect, you can definitely see me on one of the first tours smoking. I think I'm setting up something overseas right now with my booking agent, but got to see how it balances out.
That's fire. One of the things too, as we kind of get ready to wrap up, that I want to ask you, and I also think artists can benefit from this, because you just mentioned certain producers that you have beats and things like that come from, right? How hands-on with you in the music creation process are you with getting these things? Is it an A&R who's reaching out for you? Is it a manager? Or is it you just kind of, networking, meeting with people, chopping it up, kind of building those relationships?
It's mainly me meeting with people, chopping it up, and networking.
Absolutely.
Young Nudie feature came from me chopping it up. That was not through the label. Flip De Niro feature came from me chopping it up. That was not through the label. Shy Glizzy came from me chopping it up and being a person. That was not through the label.
Absolutely.
But then there's things that, kind of happen through the label where, there's writing camps that I've gone to where I've made like amazing connections with producers and writers. Or, like the Hit Boy situation was just a great acquaintance who worked with Hit, and she was like, "You sound great on a hit record. Let me put him in contact with your people, and then we set up a session in LA. That same week we did Beat Billionaire. Same week we got nominated for the Grammy too. So that was a crazy week. I'll never forget that week in LA. I will never forget that. Like, I walk in, worked with Hit Boy, worked with Beat Billionaire, got nominated for a Grammy for the Spider-Verse soundtrack.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that's just kind of how it happens. You got to do a little bit of both. Like I just said, the label will work if you're working. So, you know, I like to always come to the table and show you, like, look what I can do. Look, I just got these 3 major features. You don't see nobody with a Young Nudie feature really at all. Still one of the most sought out people. Somehow, VIP locked in the Nudie verse. Like, and he gave me a long verse, which was dope. So shout out Nudie, slime.
I love that.
But yeah, that was tight.
I love the way you've taken control of your career, man, and I think that it is a format and a blueprint for especially artists out of this area, getting out of the idea of entitlement, getting out of the idea that somebody owes me something, getting out of the idea because I have 500,000 views on YouTube that somebody should just give me something.
Nobody cares.
Exactly.
Like, literally, you go outside of here, nobody cares. Unless you're putting up real numbers. You got a Billboard top 10. Do you have a Billboard top 50? Even 100? Let's be honest, guys. It's a message to my people here. We're going to step it up. And we're not going to squabble over small pieces of the pie when we can be doing major things and getting a whole portion of that pie. Yeah. So it starts with us. It starts with being humble and just knowing how we got to move and knowing that we haven't done shit yet. A lot of us have done great things. I love it. I love to see it. However, we got a long way to go. And when we all get in tow and get in line and formation, it's going to really start to pay off because you have little pockets of big shit happening here. And I do see the dots and the people who are in between and the people who are one side and on another side. But as soon as that kind of merges, we're going to have our time and we really going to be having. So, I mean, it's up to us how long we want to wait for that to happen. But I will do my part is what I can say. And I will continue to encourage us and lead by example because that's what BYP's campaign is a whole example of. It's like I'm here to exist for that reason, for the people that want to see the bigger picture, for the people that want to get to the real bags, people that want longevity in music. You know, you got to kind of carve out a different lane and find that lane for yourself. These niche markets are important, and so we all have an important part to play.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just how I feel. So.
Well, Beau, I'm so proud of you, man. Like I said,
likewise, my brother.
Excited to see what you have coming up, man. Every time I see you post something different on the gram, you know, I'm a just huge celebrator. It motivates me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that we were able to do this,
my brother,
man.
thank you. No, I'm proud of you too, man.
And,
anytime I can sit down with the homies in the city, you know what I'm saying, and talk that talk, you know I'm down to do that, baby. I'm down to do that. Everything is groovy. Absolutely. Everything is groovy.
All right. And the lesson of the day, date the women that go to your own school, because if not, you will be hated on. All right, BYP, and that's a wrap.
Here we go.
All right, my man.
Good shit.